Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships for a Wednesday video. But we're back with another play-by-play video where I'm going to break down this Illinois game in loop in arms race mode here in Random's Battle. And this is going to be a little bit of a slow start, so to speak, but it's going to pick up pretty interesting as once we reach the halfway point in this battle. And then following. So there's going to be, I think, some good pointers that I'm going to be able to draw out in my thinking process. So I'll try to do my best to talk about what ships I decide to focus on, my positioning, yeah, all of the above. So hopefully that will be pretty good for you in this video. Now with Illinois, I'm not going to go in depth about the ship, but basically she has 12 Des Moines guns. 12 8-inch guns. So she's it's a cruiser DPM, cruiser guns on a battleship hull. Granted, we have 68,100 hit points, so at tier 9, when you're facing its high tier, you do have to be more conscious of your hit points compared to other tier 9 and tier 10, and heaven forbid you see super ships. So we're going to move up here into position. So I'm going to turn out a little bit more to the right here. I'm playing off the gearing. I want to be close. Illinois is a mid-range battleship, so when I say mid-range at high tier, 12 kilometers, so forth. I'm going to ping the map. I just got spotted. I'm expecting that there is an enemy destroyer here, perhaps, but then I immediately go dark. So I let the gearing know, and so I'm a little concerned that this actually might be a submarine, given how quick that detected to dark went. Because you see on the one line, we have our submarine player going up the one line. So what I want to do, my thought process here is I want to support gearing. I want us to get the heal buff. And so now Shimakaze has spotted. And it could have been the Shima that spotted us. He just caught us just as he was going in behind the island. But I go ahead and get my guns out here. And I'm also going to make a strategic decision that it's likely Shimakaze has possibly torpedoed me. So I'm going to go in behind the island, tuck in, and prevent any torps from hitting me. Now this is when enemy ships become apparent on the 1-2 line. So it looks like they're going to be making a big push here as the Shimakaze takes out our gearing, which is really unfortunate here. And I'm going to start reversing here. We're going to be focusing high explosive on the enemy ships. And I'm interested to see that I'm spotted again. So did Shimakaze turn back out up the 3 line? Or is there still a submarine around here? Possibly. So we're going to be trying to pay attention to that. So we do go dark, which is good. I wanted to get a little bit more angled out before deciding to open up, since it's both the Schlieffen and Conqueror over here with the Hindenburg back in behind them. So we have to aim further ahead than the shot I just did. I think our Bilal did get some decent damage there on the Schlieffen. But I'm aiming too far forward. So it looks like we've noticed that there is a sub here. There's so much happening really fast here on the video. So that you're going to see me coming in and out of my main battery to dropping airstrike depth charges really fast here. So I'm just going to be dropping some around, seeing what the heck is possibly going on. Now, Illinois does a really good job in kiting, as we see torpedoes there. That's the sub. Does a good job kiting. I'm expecting Schlieffen and the Conqueror, as you see them now. They're coming up right behind the island there on E1, E2. So I want to be able to get turned out in time. Now, I'm not too worried about using a repair party. Now, sometimes you're gonna see me multiple times this battle purposely not heal. And I'm also doing that because I'm trying to quote-unquote farm my adrenaline rush, so I have an even faster reload time. So we're going to start focusing out the Schlieffen here. We're going to call them out, and also using our high explosive shells mean we might incapacitate torpedoes, which we permanently incapacitate one and temporarily incapacitate another. Maybe we get some fire set as he's now DCP'd, and he's going to go down pretty fast here because he is just a battle cruiser, and Napoli secondaries take him out. Now, meantime, the Napoli is a little too close to the action per se when it comes to the sub. But it's not the sub torpedoes that are going to kill him. It's actually going to be the enemy Izumo over on D5. He's going to be playing in that position a lot. So we want to call out and focus the Conqueror. We really want to kill Conqueror because of the Conqueror heal. It's a specialized repair team, so we need to take him out as soon as possible. So it's very important that we call them out. We call focus fire on the Conqueror, and Zeiton takes him out there as he goes broadside, which is great for us. But you see our Zeiton is quite low here. Now, as Hindenburg has been reversing, Hindenburg does really well in the kiting roll also. So that's why he just kind of was reversing into the action per se as we spot the sub. And so we're going to ping the map. A little concerned maybe the sub wants to try to go for the reload buff, since we are here in arms race and would prefer him not. So we've gone ahead and we've used one of our repair parties as we get a flood and incapacitation on enemy sub. Because I'm now concerned of a torpedo threat. So I'm going to probably look to start accelerating here. I'm trying to be mindful that if the sub does decide to focus and torpedo us, I can simply turn away here. But Hindenburg goes down to our Zeiton. And it's not actually the sub torpedoes we have to worry about, it's the Shimakaze, who's somewhere there on the 3-4 line as the Zumo takes some shots at us. Now, the fun thing about this, so I really would like for you to hone in on this with me, is this sub, all the damage I'm going to do on this enemy sub, I'm never going to spot him once. This is just me being proactive as a player, with my reload time as a battleship, it's for cruiser guns, right? But also my 2 depth charge airstrikes. So we've been pinged, so that's when I go ahead and decide to start accelerating. Now I also have Brisk on this Illinois build, so it's going to help our speed out a little bit here. And we're going to go ahead and just simply coast out here. We don't really feel the need to be able to use a damage control party here. So that's great. Now, because we've been taking pot shots at the enemy sub as well, and we've been hitting him with depth charges, we get to see his oil slick. So we have a rough idea of where he is. You can see he's being very... he's focusing Schroeder now, as we get another flooding, but I'm also really concerned for our Thunderer, so I go ahead and spawn in chat because the oil slick tells me he's going for Thunderer now, and you can just see Thunderer got pinged there, so that's why I even said anything in chat. So it tells me that the sub is going to be going around along the back side of the island here. Now I'm shooting here in the open and I didn't get detected, but we can see his ping there, so I'm going to ping the map. Hey Thunderer, sub's getting a little bit closer to you. So I'm like, yeah, he should be moving further up and away, but we're just out at range for our depth charges to be entirely accurate. I'd want to put it up a little bit farther, so I'm going to start closing the distance now. You can see Thunder actually has a good amount of health now, but Izumo's focusing him, Hindenburg's focusing him, Hindenburg has torpedoes, and the sub's playing Ring Around the Rosie and chasing him. So I'm going to help with the Hindenburg for now, and knowing that this salvo is likely to kill him, we go ahead and switch to the ASW, and we can still see the oil slick is chasing Thunder, so I'm trying to see if Thunder will drop any airstrikes as well. That'd be great if he can, as the enemy Izumo takes out our Schroeder. And we're still taking shots. I know I think maybe it was earlier, maybe it's about to happen. I do get some pins with some of these blind shots, but I'm just being very much harassing this sub player. Now I think it's either the Izumo or it is the Shimakaze that's currently spotting me. It's not the sub, but you can see that, yeah, there we go. We got a set on fire there. We are just making life so much pain on this sub, because my goal is here, I really want to kill the sub. I don't want him to get away from me, because then I'm going to start trying to figure out where is he at. Like right now, I know where the sub is. So preferably, I would really like to get the kill here. So we're going to use ASW as we move it closer to begin engaging the rune in the same Izumo, excuse me. And we get to kill a direct hit on the sub, as we had some damage taken from, I think, a flood and a fire as well on him. So that's great. So that's just one less torpedo threat to worry about. So now I just have to be concerned about Shimakaze. So I'm moving up here. I'm putting the island between myself and the St. Vincent. Anytime in World of Warships you're able to isolate one-on-one engagements, that's the best thing. That's just a general rule of thumb. We've only used one of our 5 repair parties thus far, as Kronstadt takes out the Bismarck, and Kronstadt is going to be an excellent help this game. We're pretty angled there to Izumo. He gets a shot off behind the island before now we have an island between us and the Izumo player. And I'm just going to keep using the high explosive 203mm guns here on the rune. I want to see maybe I can get some incapacitations, which we do. We incapacitate some AA, but particularly a torpedo rack. And I'm playing a little bit further back here to still try to lob shells over the island, which I'm trying to do on the Izumo now, as we're going to see if we can get some fire set as an example. Now here, I'm going to critique myself. I could have actually went ahead and just used the damage control party, put the fire out. I don't need to let the fire burn here, but I'm still concerned about the Shimakaze torpedo threat, which is why I'm thinking I didn't end up using my DCP, and it looks like that Shima is somewhere over towards the rune and towards the Izumo. Now, speaking of fires, we are going to get 2 set on fires there, and it looks like it's still burning for the moment, but I'm watching Izumo to see if he's going to DCP the 2 fires that I set on him, and we go ahead and take a shot at the St. Vincent as well. So we're spreading out the joy. We get another double fire on the St. Vincent. That's not so normal. But now try to see if we can get a permafire on Izumo, and because the St. Vincent also has a specialized repair team, I want to try focusing him down now. Enemy Shimakaze still being quite the busy bee, takes out our Schlieffen, and we get the St. Vincent down to 4,000 hit points, and then he gets his repair party off. So unfortunately we don't get him before the specialized repair team comes up, but it's important now that we focus and put a lot of pressure on the enemy St. Vincent. He's got that built-in propulsion as well as the engine boost, so I think that's why he kind of juked some of my salvos there when he stopped reversing and accelerating again. We get a permafire on him now, and now he's looking to go broadside to us as we take a shot at Izumo in the meantime. We switch to armor piercing. St. Vincent is more of a battle cruiser, has a decent hit point pool as a tier 10 battleship, but not the strongest of armor per se, so armor piercing or high explosive would do decent if he's broadside towards us. He's angling back in, so we're going to switch to high explosive. I call him out, he's low, we got the fire ticking, he's not going to be able to get a specialized repair team back up in time. Still going to take the blind shot here, and you also notice I'm playing with my throttle because there's a Shimakaze out here, so I wasn't just simply going to run. Again, Illinois is better at the mid-range, 12 to 15 kilometer as an example. So I'm going to play with my throttle. I'm going to be reversing. I'm going to be going forward. You never want to be sitting still in the game in general, whether you're a battleship, cruiser, destroyer player, whatever. You want to be on the move regularly and make it really difficult when, especially in this situation, you know, Shimakaze, he's got 15 torpedoes, he's got 3 racks. As we get some fires cooking here on the Izumo, we want to make life hard for him, and it looks like he's not too far away from us. I think he's between us and the Izumo, probably on the like G5 is what I'm thinking. So I've accelerated, and we've avoided the torpedoes. So it tells me he's probably more over here, and I'm going to go ahead and kill my throttle again, because it looks like, oh gosh, the Illinois player, he's running away. I need to lead even farther, so I'm hoping to call the Shimakaze torpedoes at his next rack will go past my nose, because I'm not actually, I killed my speed, right? So we've been using armor piercing on the Izumo in the meantime, really whittling him down, and there we go. You can see actually that we do play it right here, and the Shimakaze completely misses us with his torpedoes. So I ping the map, letting Kronstadt know where he's at. Now you can actually see we have a pretty decent size repair party here already with Illinois, as we were now at 1.5 million potential damage and 183,000 damage. So we're going to get another heal to come off of cooldown shortly in a few seconds as our team is continuing to pick up some buffs. He uses the radar, our Kronstadt, so I'm immediately going to switch fire to the Shimakaze. So I want to make these shots count as much as possible. So Shima wasn't too far away from us as I suspected that he might be. So we're going to do, hopefully I can kill him here. We'll find out. But he does, the Shima is making the right call. He's got his engine boosted going, I believe. The Kronstadt radar doesn't last forever, so we're not going to be able to get the kill there. So that's unfortunate for us. So I communicate with the Kronstadt saying I'm going to do what I can to help you. Because he picked up where the Shima was, I know to turn out. And I'm going to go ahead and use that repair party just in case I do take a Shimakaze torpedo. I'll have my next repair party to come off cooldown as soon as possible. So we're going to move away. Best chances of avoiding Shimakaze or just torpedoes in general is sailing away, not sailing towards. So I try to completely change my course here, and you see Shimakaze is getting a little fed up. If you notice, typically when a destroyer player is having issues torpedoing you, he'll eventually just switch to widespread torpedoes, even though that's not per se the best. And that's what he does there, and we have to use our DCP to put out the flood that torpedo causes. Now, because we have the 203 Des Moines-like guns, when we're playing more at the range, in general, we can lob the shells much better. Don't have as flat shell arcs like you would in a Kronstadt, or Moskva, or Stalingrad, or Petropavlovsk, as an example with those like 220s in that example. So it favors us to kind of be skirting around the distance of the edge. We're using the mini map here, and I'm doing a couple shots. Salvos are a little too far up to the left, front left of the Zumo, so I need to kind of pull it back down, as you see me kind of beginning to adjust there and helping the Kronstadt out. I really want to keep Kronstadt alive because he is my he's sitting on the key objective, being the cap in the middle. Secondly, he does have radar. He's got the Russian 12-kilometer radar. So I used the depth charge airstrike there just to kind of see, is he going to be able to avoid that torpedo salvo? Now, notice I'm detected. I go, my concealment firing penalty comes back down. I'm still detected. So that tells me Shimakaze is somewhere here on the 5 line. I don't think he's close enough to me to be on the 4 line, as Kronstadt does take a torpedo. And I'm seeing if he has his A on. I think he's probably somewhere up here, maybe a little bit past where I dropped the depth charge, more again on the 5 line. And Kronstadt burns his next radar because he was spotted, and it just came off cooldown, and he catches the Shimakaze out. Now, it's unfortunate for the Shimakaze. He's between me and an island, and you can never know when an enemy player is going to pop their radar. And I give a well done to the Kronstadt in that we clutch the win here. It was a very close battle. It was a very fun battle. We had a bit of a slow start, but when we're dealing with subs, we're dealing with Shimikazes, we got to play wisely so we can have that impact influence in the last part of the game. So we're going to get Confederate, and I think that's fireproof. Then that's a Dreadnought, and also the high caliber. I don't think that, maybe that's Arsonist, maybe it's Weather. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I don't think it's fireproof. We didn't take that much fire damage here, but 197,000 damage, 2.1 million credits as a tier 9 premium ship, and we had a blue economic booster going, so we got paid out really well here. We're going to top the team with 2,800 base XP. I complimented the Colombo and Kronstadt, and I also complimented several enemy team players because it's just a really good game. They did a good job overall. 41,000 fire damage, and we can see the flooding damage there as well. You can see airstrike damage alone, 5,700, 1.6 million potential damage with 115,000 damage received. And going into credits in XP, we're going to end with, in total, after spent cost, just over 2 million credits. So, in general, Illinois is a really fun battleship. You know, if you were wondering about and making the investment with the research borough points, I would say, you know, pick up, you know, play Des Moines, play Salem. Do you like playing those ships? If you do, then and you like playing Iowa, then I would say you would probably really like playing Illinois, and that has been my general consensus and how I try to recommend the ship. You know, get the tech tree ship, ships like Iowa and Des Moines, and then that will make a pretty good informed decision for you if you want to make that large investment with research borough points for the Illinois. But I hope this play-by-play analysis, things were happening really fast here. I'll do some live commentaries. I have one coming up I'm going to be doing on Ragnar, as I was asked in a recent play-by-play analysis to do. So look forward to that coming at some point. And then I also have another play-by-play analysis with Ohio and breaking down that battle there. So if you liked today's play-by-play analysis, let me know by giving the video a thumbs up, or disliking it if you didn't like it. Let me know in the comments too if you've liked these videos. This is the third one I've done. I think I've had a Holland and a Hindenburg now. Play-by-play analysis. So I'm going off of what you guys like to see, and I try to cater in a certain extent to what you all like to see. And those videos seem to have been done decently well thus far. So, and I know sometimes I appreciate when I'm watching other Wilds content creators and they kind of give me a play-by-play analysis, or what are they thinking, what is their thought process, and the moves and decisions that they make there. So if you liked this video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you are subscribed, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And thank you as always to my Patreon supporters. Until next time, take care.